Lantern. For this first recipe, we're gonna be making a gift with my friend Cherry. We're gonna be making reindeer hot cocoa gifts. So, you ready? Let's make a mess. For this recipe, you need 1 cup cocoa powder. Use your favorite kind. It can be dark, light, rouge, ruby, white, whatever your favorite kind of cocoa powder. 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of your favorite flavor of Coffee Mate or instant coffee, 2 cups of dry milk, 2 teaspoons cornstarch, 2 cups powdered sugar, and then for extras, you can always add things like espresso powder if you want to make them a little coffee-like, sprinkles for fun, even a pinch of cayenne and a pinch of cinnamon to make it almost a Mexican hot cocoa, and sprinkles for fun. I know I said it twice, but they are kind of fun. After that, you're gonna assemble it and need 4, that's right, 4 piping bags. I'm gonna use these because we're gonna turn these into cute reindeer. One of the reasons I like to sift the dried milk is it comes in a pretty good sized granule, but I want it to be nice and fine. So this is simple enough to break it up into it. Because right now it has the consistency of mashed potato flakes, and then when you put it through this, it turns into a very, very fine sand. You could have also put this all in a food processor and just zapped it a couple seconds, but where's the fun in that? So there you have it. For the most part, all of our ingredients are put together. Then I'm gonna take a whisk, just combine it. So this makes about 20 to 22 servings. When you go to actually make it, it's a 1/4 cup to 3/4 cups of hot water. What I'm also gonna do is we're gonna put it in this cool little bag, and so we're gonna do 4 in each one of these. So I'm gonna need a little more ingredients to do this next project. For that, I need another 1/2 cup of French vanilla, and a 1/4 cup of sprinkles, just to give it a little sparkle. Then I need my mini marshmallows. I got the tiniest ones I could find. And my bag. First step, fold back the top. Here's where you get to help me. Tell me when. Now. 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 How about now? It's gonna overflow. Oh, I think that's gonna be enough. 1/4 cup of mini marshmallows on the bottom, 2 heaping teaspoons on the bottom. This is gonna make the nose part of our reindeer. Then 1 cup of our hot cocoa mix on top of that. And then all you need, a twist tie, and I'm just ready for my friend Cherry to do her part. Well, there you have it, our instant hot cocoa mix. Put a little chocolate whipped cream and whipped cream on top. Oh, that's good. All right, that's it for this video. Until next time, make sure to stay safe and have fun.
Thanks, Zets. Now let's make these hot cocoa bags into reindeer. All we need are pipe cleaners, a fuzzy pom-pom, and googly eyes. First, we're gonna use the pipe cleaners to make a bow and antlers. Now we're gonna glue the googly eyes and the pom-pom for the nose. And that's how you make your hot cocoa bag reindeer. Thanks for watching.
Hi everyone, I'm Miss Sarah from the Daly City Public Library, and today I will be reading Gingerbread Baby by Jan Brett. It was cold outside. It was warm inside. A fine, fine day for gingerbread, Maddie thought. Maddie's mother put the big blue bowl on the table and lit the stove. Maddie took down a worn-looking cookbook with old-fashioned writing on the top cover. He opened it up to the page that said, Gingerbread Boy. They measured and mixed. Maddie rolled the dough into the shape of a gingerbread boy and they popped him into the oven. Bake a full 8 minutes, no more, no less. Do not peek, the recipe read. Maddie listened to the clock. Tick, tock, tick. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3, 4, 5. Maddie couldn't wait any longer. He opened the oven door to take a peek. Instead of a gingerbread boy, out jumped a gingerbread baby. He pranced around the big blue bowl. I'm the gingerbread baby, fresh from the pan. If you want me, catch me if you can. Maddie's mother reached for the gingerbread baby to put him back into the oven, but he ran all around the kitchen. The door opened and in came Maddie's father. What's that delicious smell? He asked to the gingerbread, and the gingerbread baby tumbled through his legs and out into the yard. He ran by the tabby cat. She twitched her tail and sprang at him. They rumbled and tumbled, but the gingerbread baby came out on top. He ran toward the garden wall. The dog caught a whiff of tasty ginger and sniffed along behind him. But the gingerbread baby was halfway up when the dog caught up. He barked and barked as the gingerbread baby climbed over the wall. Maddie was still inside. He heard his mother and father yelling. He heard a cat meowing and a dog barking. And he heard the gingerbread baby shouting, Catch me if you can. Maddie opened up the worn-looking cookbook for a second time. Meanwhile, the gingerbread baby wheeled on down the path and into the barn. The goats looked up as he somersaulted across their backs. The last one tried to catch him, but the gingerbread baby was too fast. Martha and Madeline were standing by the well when the gingerbread baby stopped to take a drink. They looked at each other and winked. Martha started to talk to him while Madeline tiptoed up behind him with the bucket. But they couldn't fool that gingerbread baby. He took a braid from Martha and a braid from Madeline and tied them in a knot and ran down the road. Back in the house, Maddie stirred, mixed, and rolled the dough. He shaped it, put it in a pan and into the oven. Tick, tock, tick. 8 long minutes. This time he didn't peek. I will catch him if I can, Maddie said to himself. As he was bouncing along, the gingerbread baby saw a farm wagon just ahead. He jumped in and settled down for the ride next to a mama pig. The smell of gingerbread was too much for her. She tossed him high in the air, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. But the gingerbread baby twisted in the air and came down hard on her porky snout. I'm the gingerbread baby, too quick for the mother and the father, too fast for the cat, the dog, the goats, too clever for Martha and Madeline, too smart for the mama pig. Who's left? Catch me if you can. Feeling smug, the gingerbread baby strolled along by himself until he came to a bridge that crossed over the village. Just as he got to the middle, he heard running feet behind him and saw a crowd of villagers ahead of him. The gingerbread baby was trapped. He jumped up onto the railing, backflipped through the air, and landed on a chunk of ice floating down the river. The ice bobbed along with the gingerbread baby dancing on top and singing in a loud voice. Look at me, what do you see? The best gingerbread baby ever! Until his feet got cold and he jumped ashore. Who was that watching from the trees? It was the fox. He crept up behind the gingerbread baby, ready to eat him up. But the fox couldn't help himself, and he licked his chops. Smack, smack. The gingerbread baby heard him and ran as fast as he could. Just when the fox was catching up, the gingerbread baby saw the milk and cheese man with his can of milk. The perfect hiding place, he thought. He lifted the lid and lowered himself inside. He was so pleased that he sang at the top of his gingerbread voice, "Ha ha, hee hee, you'll never find me. I'm the gingerbread baby, catch me if you can." The milk and cheese man heard the gingerbread baby's voice. "Who is meddling with my milk?" he shouted and lifted the lid. But the gingerbread baby was ready. He jumped up and tweaked his nose. Now the milk and cheese man, the fox, the villagers, the mama pig, Martha and Madeline, the bleating goats, the barking dog, the meowing cat, the father and the mother were all after the gingerbread baby and getting closer. And he knew it. The brash baby was not as peppy and proud as he had been. He sniffed a familiar smell and followed his nose into the woods. He couldn't believe what he saw. There, in the middle of a clearing, was a gingerbread house, frosted with sugar, covered with candy, and doors with peppermint handles wide open. The gingerbread baby clapped his hands with glee, and he ran inside. In a tick-tock-tick, everyone around in the clearing, but all they found were a few bits of frosting, a peppermint candy, and some crumbs. The father exclaimed, "The gingerbread baby has finally met his match." "I wonder who it was," the mother said. "Let's go home and tell Maddie." "Hello, Maddie," his father said when they got home. "We never did catch that gingerbread baby. All we found were some crumbs in the snow." "I see you have been busy," his mother said, looking at the gingerbread house Maddie was holding. "Too bad we never caught that gingerbread baby." "Too bad," said Maddie. Only Maddie could hear the tiny voice from inside the gingerbread house. "I'm the little gingerbread baby, lucky as can be, to be living in the house that Maddie made for me." Since we just read a book about gingerbread, we're gonna sing a little song. It's practicing our counting, and it's pretty easy, so it goes like this. 1 little, 2 little, 3 little gingerbread, 4 little, 5 little, 6 little gingerbread, 7 little, 8 little, 9 little gingerbread, 10 little gingerbread in a row. And then we can practice our counting one more time, and we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. The end.
The video you're about to watch is a total fail. What we tried to do and what we got are 2 different apples. But don't worry, it's still delicious. Hey Reckon Readers, welcome back to this holiday edition of Reckon Reading. Now, for this recipe, we're gonna be making Christmas tree cinnamon rolls. That's right, Christmas tree cinnamon rolls. Super easy for the littles to do. You can make it as complicated or as simple as you want. You can make your own dough and cinnamon rolls and all that fun stuff and be on the complicated side, or be like me. Ain't got time for that. I'm gonna use some instant poppin' fresh dough. All right, let's make a mess. For this recipe, it's pretty simple. You're going to need some poppin' fresh dough, some frosting to put on the top because there's not enough that comes in this, some sprinkles to decorate, and some more frosting to decorate. That's it. Follow the instructions on your dough and get started. Start by unpeeling or untwisting your cinnamon roll. Then you're gonna go ahead and put it in a zigzag formation. This didn't work as well. I should have used bigger biscuit dough because there's not a lot of room to play with these guys, but that's fine. Oh God, that always scares me every time. So what I'm gonna try to do with these smaller biscuit doughs is I'm gonna make some holiday wreaths also. So I'm gonna do some donut shapes. They'll come out just as good. So in the oven these go. Follow your directions for your specific dough. Mine says 12 to 15 minutes until they're nice and toasty. In the meantime, I'll get started on my frosting. I'm gonna take the frosting they gave me. 1 can of frosting. You could just as easily make your own frosting or icing with powdered sugar, a little lemon juice or vanilla extract, a little bit of milk, a little bit, like a half a teaspoon at a time until it gets to the right consistency. I just thought it would be a little better to use this for today. Plus I know sometimes we buy too much of it and it just sits in our cabinet. Some leaf green. And then I'm gonna throw it in the microwave. Jingle bells, frosting smells, David laid an egg. Make it show. So one thing with our rec and reading recipes is that I will tell you when we make mistakes and some corrections to do it. We made some mistakes. The first was I got the wrong size dough. It wasn't really big enough to make the nice zigzag shape that I was going for. If I would have made my own dough, I could have rolled them out into nice long pieces and made good sized dough trees. Second, I forgot to grease my pan. They're all stuck to the bottom of my pan. Doesn't mean they're not gonna be delicious, and it does not mean they're gonna be nutritious, but we're just gonna have to work with what we got. So the next thing I need to do is I need to frost our trees. So I'm gonna take our frosting while they're still a little hot, and it's okay, I'm just gonna frost the whole thing so it goes on over. We want it to go all the way down. And it's okay. If it's not an exact tree, it's okay because we made it with love. Now I'm doing this first one while it's hot, and then I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back and do another little coating. But I wanna get that first one on there so I can get all that sweetness to start sucking up into my tree. Now that it's soaked up a little, I'm gonna go back on with the second coating, but not as generous as before. So then I'm gonna put some ball sprinkles, some lights. So this recipe was a total fail. I've done this recipe before using the canned dough to make like brains and intestines and other shapes. I've done double batches. For this project, it just didn't work. Plus I made a couple errors myself. My oven was too hot. I forgot to set a timer. I forgot to grease my pan. I used the cinnamon rolls that were too small. You can do this project, just do it smart and do it right. It could be delicious. Now, I mean, it's still gonna be delicious. It's a hot cinnamon roll covered in frosting and sprinkles. That's worth waking up Christmas morning. Until next time, make sure to stay safe and have fun!
So the next book we're going to read is called The First Day of Winter, and this is by Denise Fleming. And this book is actually a book that you can sing, so I'm going to sing this book. On the first day of winter, my best friend gave to me a red cap with a gold snap. On the second day of winter, my best friend gave to me 2 bright blue mittens and a red cap with a gold snap. On the third day of winter, my best friend gave to me 3 striped scarves, 2 bright blue mittens and a red cap with a gold snap. On the fourth day of winter, my best friend gave to me 4 prickly pine cones, 3 striped scarves, 2 bright blue mittens, and a red cap with a gold snap. On the 5th day of winter, my best friend gave to me 5 birdseed pockets, 4 prickly pine cones, 3 striped scarves, 2 bright blue mittens, and a red cap with a gold snap. On the 6th day of winter, my best friend gave to me 6 tiny twigs, 5 birdseed pockets, 4 prickly pine cones, 3 striped scarves, 2 bright blue mittens, and a red cap with a gold snap. On the 7th day of winter, my best friend gave to me 7 maple leaves, 6 tiny twigs, 5 birdseed pockets, 4 prickly pine cones, 3 striped scarves, 2 bright blue mittens, and a red cap with a gold snap. On the 8th day of winter, my best friend gave to me 8 orange berries, 7 maple leaves, 6 tiny twigs, 5 birdseed pockets, 4 prickly pine cones, 3 striped scarves, 2 bright blue mittens, and a red cap with a gold snap. On the 9th day of winter, my best friend gave to me 9 big black buttons, 8 orange berries, 7 maple leaves, 6 tiny twigs, 5 birdseed pockets, 4 prickly pine cones, 3 striped scarves, 2 bright blue mittens, and a red cap with a gold snap. On the 10th day of winter, my best friend gave to me 10 salty peanuts, 9 big black buttons, 8 orange berries, 7 maple leaves, 6 tiny twigs, 5 birdseed pockets, 4 prickly pine cones, 3 striped scarves, 2 blue mittens, and a red cap with a gold snap. Coming together. I think I know what it is. The end. This is called 5 Little Snow Pals. So it goes 5 little snow pals standing in a row. Each has a black hat and a big red bow. Out comes the sun and it's shone all day until one little snow pal melted away. So now we have 4, right? So we have 4 little snow pals standing in a row. Each has a black hat and a big red bow. Out comes the sun and it shone all day until one little snow pal melted away. So now we have 3 snow pals. So you say 3 little snow pals standing in a row. Each has a hat and a big red bow. Out came the sun and it shone all day until one little snow pal melted away. So now we have 2 little snow pals standing in a row. Each has a hat and a big red bow. Out came the sun and it shone all day until one little snow pal melted away. So now we only have 1 little snow pal standing in a row. She has a hat and a big red bow. Out came the sun and it shone all day until the little snow pal melted away.
Hey Reckon Readers, it's me Zets, and again, happy holidays! We're gonna be making some melted snowman bark. Let's make a mess. You'll need melted white chocolate, any kind you like, your favorite kind of mini chocolate chip, peppermint candies that are broken up. I'm using 2 sizes of black pearls to make the eyeballs in the mouth, and I'm using candy unicorn horns as a carrot nose and a flat square marshmallow to make our frosty. Start by melting your chocolate. Then on a cookie sheet lined with wax paper, sprinkle a lot or a little of the peppermint candy crunch that you like. And I'm using mini white and dark chocolate chips. And then I'm gonna make some without the peppermint. I have a very large bowl of melted white chocolate candy melts. I'm gonna get a spoonful, kind of like a turtle. You're just gonna make a big plop. Now before it sets, I'm gonna put my arms in now, and you'll see why later. If you don't wanna use the full pretzel, I'm gonna break them in half. So for the next part, I'd recommend getting a paper plate and putting all your decorations on it. You can use multiple paper plates if that works for you. What I like to do, I have this chocolate warmer here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take 2 forks. I'm gonna put a piece of a marshmallow in it. Try to drain off as much as I can. And then I'm gonna bring it over to one of my little dudes. And you go ahead and put 2 eyeballs, a nose, and a mouth. All right, let me repeat this 199,622 times. Well, now that I sure made a mess and I had a couple meltdowns myself during this project, there you have it, our melted snowman bark. Now that we have all this, you just gotta wait for everything to harden and get nice and stiff, and then you'll just peel it from the wax paper, and there you have it. Got some fun bits on the bottom, the white chocolate and the chocolate chips, and the things, and it's just delicious. You just bite into it and there you go. I'm not gonna eat it today because I'm really, really full of sugar, and I don't need any more sugar. But you can wrap these up really nice and go in there. They don't have to be a perfect snowman face because it is a melted snowman. Until next time, everybody, make sure to stay safe and have fun. Oh, I forgot to tell you what you can do with any leftovers. So you can always, one, after you peel all your snowmen, pour it into a bag and use it to bake a delicious chocolate chip cookie. Or if you have lots of melted chocolate, go ahead and pour it back into some melted chocolate and just drop giant spoonfuls out on another piece of wax paper to make a true bark or a little mini bite. All right, that's it for now. Make sure to stay safe and have fun.